everyone, it's Nana A. Welcome back to my channel. We are on PurpleMyst tonight, where our fairy rock garden used to be. It's still the rock garden, but we're going to turn it into a stargazing rock garden. And pick the perfect night to do this, y'all. We had to wait for Azalea to start out with, but we also have a meteor shower, so it's a perfect night to work on this. I think it was meant to be. It was in the stars. Just ask Whitney. Look at her. She's waiting patiently for us to get this done. And there our Whitney. Or photobombing. One of the two. I'm still getting used to the new villagers. But I love all of them. They're so cute. But anyway, we're going with more of a natural looking garden instead of a... And I know the other one was natural, so to speak. But I want this one to be simple natural. That's the kind of look I'm going for the island. Once we redo it, this probably will be like, turn out to be like a filler space, or even maybe a transition space. But Whitney, honey, no, yep, we're here just for you, Whitney. You got it, girl. But anyway, behind me is Judy. Whitney, honey, pick a side. This is Judy's house that I moved back here. And on the other side, we're going to have to do some terraforming. So we're going to add Gayla's house. And Judy's favorite colors are pink and white. And she has the music hobby. Gayla's is pink and white, and she has the education hobby. So I thought this would be a perfect place for Gayla to study the stars. And that's what we will kind of do for her yard when it gets time. For Judy, we will do kind of just a cute natural yard with a little bit of musical element in it, not much. Look at all these stars and the balloon in the background. It's perfect, y'all. It's just perfect. Now, I am having to do this as a voiceover because, again, my voice and the music just wasn't matching. So, I'll do the best I can, y'all. But we're going to start, and then a little bit into it, we'll kind of transition to another period. It'd be the same day, but I had to take a little break in between, so it's just like a little transition from one building time to the other. But I've put on my safety helmet, and when we hit that point, you'll see I come back without it. So I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there so you won't go, something's not right here. But this is going to be a hidden, kind of a secret rock garden. That was one of the suggestions that I got, and I really liked it. So we're going to try to make it secluded, secret, kind of hidden, and you'll just be able to barely see it, I think. And I don't know about the pathing. I want to make it known on the map, but then I'm like, well, this is supposed to be a secret area. So if I put the natural path underneath it, it won't be too secret. So then I'm like, well, maybe I can just do it up to Judy's house. And y'all know me, I'm going to change my mind like 300 times, but we're going to get this done. I thought I would go with this the lighter color so it wouldn't blend in with the dirt. Just use the sand and just kind of separate them out and make a little porch area. I do not know which design code I'm going to use for the path up to her house or the porch area, little patio area. Haven't made up my mind yet. Okay, and we're back here. That was not the transition area. That was just a jump in the camera that didn't catch me walking back. I don't know what happened. But now we're going to put down this little moon circle, I think it's called, that I found when I searched the design code portal. And I think the name Enma or something like that. I will definitely have the details, the designer code down in the details. So I started out with this big area and I had a bunch of different things here. I had one of the big glowing moss ponds and stuff around it. But now we're just going to put this little circle. And it does take me a few minutes at times to figure out which one to use, because when I downloaded the design, I had to replace some design codes that I'm like, well, I just won't use this. And so it's kind of all scattered out and I hadn't grouped them together yet. But this is called Moonstone, is what the path is called. And it's a 9-piece path. I think 9. And it's called Moonstone 9 because she does have some real pretty circles and different things on there. So you should go check her out. There's actually more pieces to it because she had different middle pieces, but I couldn't keep that many in my design code thing. I didn't want to get rid of a whole bunch of more than I already was, because I've already gotten rid of some to do this dirt path. So that's new, and the brick path is new. I liked the purple path that I had, but it turned out to be a little bit darker than I wanted, I guess I'm trying to say. I wanted something that was still purple because my main color is still purple. But just not as dark purple, I guess. Two more pieces. Let's see if I can find them pretty quick. Now for the middle. And the middle piece is actually a moon. So I thought that was really cute. Yeah, it's really cute. I like it. I think the circle is awesome for what we're going to do. But one thing that it took me a few minutes. You can see I'm thinking, because I'm like, do I want to? Do I not want to? I put this down for a reason. But again, I want it simple and natural. So we're going to remove the dirt path around it. We're just going to leave the one underneath the moon circle. And you'll see I have to put it back a few times. But now that I have all 10 of the villagers, and, you know, we're getting down to, we're halfway through the challenge, so I got to get the island decorated and work on the nook miles, which I have quite a few of the nook miles, so pretty much catching however many more fish and bugs and trying to get my villagers to have fleas. That's always been the hardest for me. I think we're doing pretty good on nook miles. See, I keep removing the path. I wanted it to be more round, and if I didn't do that, I couldn't round off the path underneath, and I just didn't know how it would look. But then you can see I found out I didn't have to remove that, but it was too late. But that's okay. Well, then you can see I was right to start out with. I just didn't want the pointy corners. I know it rounded at some points, but it also made that square path and looks like it's got a triangle point going on. So I needed to go ahead and round those corners out. So really, I didn't need to do, but I did need to do. I mean, it automatically looks better on the straight sides, but the rounded corners, you definitely needed to change the path underneath. And now it's going to take me 30 minutes to find my pieces again. I'm going to get everything grouped, situated before we attempt the houses. And again, with the houses, I'm going the same route. I'm probably still going to use their star sign on some of them. I mean, if the star sign of the villager is a wall hanging, then I can't do that. We'll have to think of something else. But where we can, we're going to use their star sign. One more. Maybe. Possibly. There we go. Now that that's finished, I want to run over here because I don't know if I'm going to replace it, but I am going to use it in the back. So I don't know what I'm going to do on the cliff by the lake, but we're going to take the moon. And we're going to make that the center point of our garden. Okay, there we go. Hey look, it's Whitney again. I think she's following us, y'all. And this area will change too. This is the first area I think that I did outside of the entrance and the lake. The first area in the back. I think, I don't remember. But it was the Blue Fairy Village. It's gonna change. Alright, let's even this up. Put it in the middle. Oh, look how strong I am pushing that moon. I like that. I think it's pretty. Now this is the transition. I didn't think that I would need the terraforming, so I did not put it back on before it came back. I didn't think about somebody might go, she was wearing her safety helmet until it was already done. So that's why I told you. Now in between each rock, except for the path in and out, I'm going to put one of the star signs, like the Pisces lamp. Over here we'll do like no. I do change that. I have Judy in the background exercising. She's so cute. And of course the stars are still out. When I first started this, the reason why I'm putting down Pisces lamps, but I'm like, no, because it was close to Judy and Gayla and they're both Pisces, I was only going to use Pisces. But then I changed my mind. Put down this Scorpio lamp, which made me go, I don't want that to be the only different thing. So then I put down the Virgo heart. And let me tell you y'all, that's kind of hard to move around. It's one of those awkward angle items to move. I'm like, just please sit her, please. Push. Almost. Okay. So over here I leave one Pisces. I just could not, in my mind, justify having two Pisces lamps and then one of each different signs on the other side. So I had to go back into my storage to see what I had that we could fix the situation with. And it looks like I have a whole lot of nothing right now. I am going to have to clean my storage out. I have multiple of some things that I don't need multiple of. And they got to go because I'm not going to use them on my island. In my 100%, I don't have to physically have every item. I just have to have 100% of the items cataloged. So, and I just keep looking. No lily pad table. There we go. The cancer table. That's the one I wanted. Oh my gosh, y'all. That was half the video, wasn't it? I should really put these in alphabetical order when I'm looking for them. First start. Okay. And now I'm going to replace this since I finally found it, even though it's lost in my pack now. Oh, there it is. And then I decided, what can we have that kind of goes with this, but still looks a little natural? So I decided to put each star fragment by the thing face. So Pisces star fragment by the Pisces lamp, Cancer by the Cancer table, you get it. Each one of them is going to have a star fragment related to them dropped in. Then we're going to use purple and white flowers. I had said in an earlier video that we're going to go to mostly purple and white, some pink, blue, maybe a little bit of yellow. And I thought I would bring over some lily of the valleys. I thought that would be perfect to put at the entrance on both sides. So one on each side inside of that rock. Oh, we gotta move this. Okay, one here. Now we have the lily of the valleys at each entrance. Need to put that lily back. And on this side, I decided to go with the white hyacinths and the purple windflower. Just to change it up a little. It's still purple and white. I wanted to stick with that, but just change the flowers up. And we're going to put just a few pieces of glowing moss stain. We're not going to overfill it like I usually do. There we go. Now the next thing I had to think about was, this is supposed to be a secret hidden rock garden. And that was our path going from the incline to the back of the mountain. So now we can take that away, and we're going to put some hardwood trees here. And I'm going with the hardwood trees because my dream address will be set in cherry blossom season. So all of this is going to be pink trees. I think it'll be really pretty. But we want to put one more here. I want there to be one way that you can go, at least for right now. When you come off the incline, I want you to have to go to the right and into the star garden, or the rock garden. So we're going to have to hide it on this side, and that's going to be a little bit harder. So we're going to have to get back into our safety helmet, and we're going to have to take out some of that water. We're going to have to fill it in so we can have room to plant trees. Now I don't know if I will completely fill this in and do something up here, or at one point I was going to connect it, kind of curve it around and connect to the river on the other side, but now I'm not sure. I don't know. we're going to try to put our trees down. And of course, we're going to have problems. So, back to the waterscaping. And I didn't want to get rid of all of it. Like I said, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I just wanted to fill in enough to be able to plant the trees. And then when we build on that other side, we'll figure out what we want. Now that tree, no matter what I tried, did not plant that close to the rock. And I tried. So we had to bring the tree out a little. But first, you guessed it, we had to fill in some more of the water. Take it over to that side. Kind of couldn't get the tree there, so. I tried right here, just to try again. So hard to get that water going. And this is hard to do. The waterscaping, cliff making, terraforming in general is hard to do. See if that works. And it does. Right about now, I was saying, gosh, I really want this to be hidden on the side. And the answer is yes. So, back to the waterscape. And I still have problems. We're going to get this tree painted, y'all. I promise you. There we go. Not exactly where I wanted it, but they are in the line back. I kind of wanted one maybe out in front of the other. But this is our garden, y'all. We could still get through the sides though. Because you can still go between the trees. And at this point, I really do not want that to happen. So, as I put down a little bit of a star path, just one piece to kind of go from the garden to the actual little path. We'll do that on both sides. But I have to get rid of this first. Now, really the garden itself is done. I just still need it to be closed off. And I thought about putting a fence around it, and I may still do that when I do the other sides. But as of right now, no. So, how do we fix this now? And of course, we have to block it off. But I wanted to look like it was somewhat naturally blocked off. I mean, the way I end up doing it, not completely natural. You can tell part of it was made. I don't know. I wasn't for sure that I wanted to use the wooden stakes, but I decided the wooden stakes and the shrub. It doesn't matter really to me what shrub goes there, because there are no shrubs that bloom during the time that I'm going to set my D8. So, just so it looks good. So now we're going to put up a log stake. You can't go in there. Kind of like a mini fence, if you will. I thought about using the log fence, or the country fence, whatever it is. But then I decided, no, I want to use the log stakes. I don't use them as much as I used to. I used to make fences with them before we got all these different options on fencing. And I needed to put a flower there, but I wanted it to be purple. So, I decided the easiest thing to do was to go back over to the purple windflowers. Because I just needed one to put there. And then maybe a white lily, maybe, in case I needed another one to put there. But I think it's only going to take the one flower. Okay, so we come back over to the entrance on this side of the log stakes and plant our flower. And just a single flower, I think that looks great in front of the trees and the bush and the fence. I think that's all we needed. Now, the other set of log stakes goes on this side. On this side, I decided to put gyroids. This may change when I find something else to put there, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the other side yet, if I'm going to keep the water, not keep the water. So I thought a good way to block it off right now would be some gyroids, because I don't use them very often either. So we're going to use the purple and white gyroids, of course. I have one more left, so let's put it on this table. Just to kind of tie the gyroids into the circle. Now, let's see what it looks like. Let's see what our handiwork looks like. That looks good. Can't get through there. And then you come down into the rock garden, or the stargazing garden. And we have a butterfly there. We have our gyroids, our star fragments, our flowers, our star sign islands, and eventually we'll have a path going off to the Judy's and Kayla's house. So this is my stargazing garden, y'all. And like you said, great night to do it. Meteor shower. So I hope that you're still enjoying PurpleMyst. We are moving along now that we have all of our villagers in place. We're going to start building more. So don't forget to hit that like button. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking about the redecoration of the rock garden. And if you haven't already, it's okay. It's okay, I understand. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come on in, be part of the family. everybody's welcome. A lot of crazy chaos that goes on, but it's a great family. We have lots of fun. So come on in, kick them shoes off, and stay a while. You won't regret it. And of course, don't forget to ring that notification bell so you'll know when my next video comes out. And until then, bye y'all.